Donald Trump has the knack for setting off a media furor with his finger-in-the-eye comments. It began with Mexican immigrants, and then it was NBC and Univision and John McCain and Jorge Ramos. And every time he does it, everybody in the press would get all excited and then criticize him. And then he would go up in the polls. Even half of the pundits would say, well, this is surely going to bring him down. But something strange is going on now, because Trump is in hot water, at least if you measure it by the level of media alacrity, because of something he didn't say. I'm talking, of course, about what happened. I was watching it live, New Hampshire town hall meeting. Trump says he's going to take questions. The very first guy says the problem in this country is Muslims, and then our president is a Muslim and our president isn't an American. And then he went on to talk about training camps, and Donald Trump did not correct him. Trump later said that he blamed the media. He said that the media are making this a big story because the media want to make it about Obama. But the problem for the Donald is that the videotape is there, and everybody could see that this crazy guy was ranting and raving, and that Trump, he answered the second part of the question about these training camps, we're looking at all the options, didn't say anything about the slur against the president. And here's an additional reason why this is a problem. Back in 2011, Donald Trump, then not a presidential candidate, but certainly a huge public figure, was pushing the birther line and demanding to see President Obama's birth certificate and kind of aligning himself with the people in this country who have doubts about just where the president was born. The president later, of course, did produce the long-form birth certificate. And in this campaign, when Trump has been asked about that, he has not renounced what he said a few years ago, but he has said he doesn't want to talk about it anymore and he wants to move on. And I think it hasn't been a major issue, but this business with the questioner has kind of dredged it up. And unfortunately for Trump, there's a piece of videotape that everybody is now playing again and again and again from the 2008 campaign, when John McCain was in a similar situation when a woman said that Obama was an Arab, and he grabbed the microphone away and he said, "No, ma'am. He is a good family man and a citizen who I happen to disagree with." And the obvious media critique here is that Donald Trump should have done the same thing. Now, Trump, unlike McCain, who's been a senator forever, doesn't have the experience of doing a lot of town hall meetings or doing any of the things that politicians do. So maybe he was just trying to move on without giving any more credence to what the guy said. But the media verdict here is that this is a huge story and a huge problem. And it almost seemed to get bigger on Friday when Trump canceled an appearance he was going to make with a bunch of other candidates in South Carolina. Watching the television on Friday, boy, I mean, this was on at the top of every hour on CNN, on Fox News, and it seemed like every 10 minutes on MSNBC. So this is the first time in the campaign, I think, that Trump has gotten into trouble with the media, which many of whose members love to bash him and are not fans of Donald Trump and are not always fair to Donald Trump, because of something he didn't say. And B, other than the statement that Trump put out, he didn't have initially at least, an immediate response other than to blame the media. And so, this is what happens in a long campaign. There are ups and downs. You get hit, as Trump got hit a lot in the debate. I don't think he did as badly as many of the pontificators and commentators said. But I wonder how long this story will go on before we will all collectively move on to the next one.